Welcome back to my channel, you guys. It's your girl, Miss Honey. Happy Sunday, everybody. You guys already know this is Sunday, so you already know what it is we do on Sunday. We do power. This is season 4, episode 3, The Kind of Man You Are. If you are currently subscribed to my channel, welcome back. I'm so excited about how my channel is growing and just the quality of subscriber that I have on my channel. Like the quality of subscriber I have on my channel, unmatched. Unmatched. You guys watch these shows, you know what's going on. You know what's going on with your history lesson, past seasons, whole nine. You're able to articulate why it is we don't like that bitch Angela. And I love it, okay? But again, if you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget, whoever you are, to give me that thumbs up. It's really, really important. As well as comment down below. That's where we hash it out. We talk about it, you know what I'm saying, off rails. And we really, really get into it, okay? All right, so without further ado, the kind of man you are. This episode was kind of all over the place, but it was a lot of information. So I'm going to try to nutshell it as much as I possibly can for you. Let's get done with the easy peasy things first. Let's talk about Raina and Tariq. Raina and Tariq are being driven to school by Tommy because remember he told James that he was going to look after his family. So he giving Tasha a break and taking the kids to school. Of course, he sends Raina on inside the school and he wants to talk to Tariq. And he kind of tries to feel Tariq out a little bit. Like, why you shading your mama? Now, put a pin in that because Tariq is not shading his mama. Tariq is being downright disrespectful. See, when we call it shade, we make it seem like it's a small beef. But you being disrespectful, okay? And you getting this close to somebody going up inside your mouth and knocking all your teeth out, okay? But I digress. And Tariq tells him, I don't trust my dad. My dad's a liar. And Tommy kind of comes along and says, hey, I agree with you. Sometimes he doesn't tell the truth. Sometimes I'm not sure what to believe as well. But he might be saying this honestly, and or he might be trying more to get about Tariq what's going on with him. But Tariq doesn't do it. He gets on out of the car and goes on about his business. Later on, when we see that the white kid bully that was talking to Tariq last week that Tariq had to, low-key threaten, is now threatening Raina because Raina has just gotten a text that let her know, that her dad is they seeking the death penalty in his case. And so just as she looking up from her phone, here comes this white kid bully, and he got words to say. Well, Tariq is coming down the steps behind Raina, and he yokes the kid up. And Raina screams, please don't do that. Please, 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 Tariq, don't do that. And Tariq walks off and said, tell him in the office I went home sick. Raina runs after him, and she tries to catch up with him, but she doesn't. And then she just has like a little moment of breakdown. She's just like, my life is falling apart. I thought it was perfect. At that same time, there is a paparazzi across the street, long lens camera, taking a picture of her. And we see this on the front cover of the paper, right? Later on, Raina is at home with her mom, and she's been crying all day. She's upset about her, what's going on with Tariq, what's going on with her dad, and her face is in the paper. Her mama trying to console her, and her dad calls to talk to her. He knows that her face has been in the paper. He's trying to console her a little bit. And she just said, Daddy, are they going to kill you? And he's like, no, baby, nobody can kill me. And, it's a moment. All right. Later on, Raina goes in to talk to Tariq. Tariq is at home. He's in his room playing the game. He don't care. Now, he in full Kanan mode at this point. If he were to pull out a gun and shoot Raina in the face, I would be like, okay, that ain't nobody but Kanan. Because I'm talking about he is cussing his sister out. Get the fuck from in front of the TV. What the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. Shut the fuck up. Quit fucking talking to me. I mean, just so disrespectful to his sister. He sends her out of the room in tears. He don't even blink. Now, if that ain't Kanan, it sure ain't Ghost. That's for doggone sure. Then we see where Tariq is going over to Kanan, where Kanan is staying, and drinking that lean. Kanan showing him how to mix it. Then we see him playing a video game over a friend's house and giving the elevator code and the alarm code to Kanan and Snitchy, Ditchy, Itchy, whatever his name is, to break into White Boy Bully's house. So you cussing your mama out, you cussing your sister out, you drinking to be damned, and now you aiding and abetting. And all of this is because of your association with Kanan. But your daddy's a problem. Your mama's a problem. Tariq, you're not this stupid. You're not this stupid. At this point, you know what you're doing, and you're trying to do it on purpose at this point. I already see it coming, okay? I already see it coming. Okay, so that's Raina and Tariq. Let's talk about Tony Teresi. Tony Teresi them found out that Egan used to hang with this dude, this black dude. When they was younger, they grew up together slinging dope on the block. Used to do with somebody named Ghost, and I don't know who Ghost is. He looks over his shoulder and he's looking, because he on an illegal phone in jail. He looks over his shoulder and looks right at Ghost. Later on, he goes to Ghost. All right, and he tries to tell Ghost, I know who you are. I had my suspicions. You supposed to be this, businessman here in jail. You snapped that man's wrist like you had snapped a man's wrist before, and that ain't easy to do. Number one. Number two, I know Egan. I know y'all used to slang drugs. And I know you Ghost, and I got proof. So he tells James what he wants. $20,000 delivered by Tommy at this address, and every week after this first delivery, I want this money. And James try to play it off. You don't know nothing. I'm just a regular person. Woo woo woo. But the guy's not buying it. And later on, when James asks for Proctor to check into the guy, finds out who the guy is, a killer, an old school killer, he orders Proctor to tell Tommy to deliver the money to this address. So he gonna pay the Dre and Julio. Oh, the show opens up with Dre, Julio, and Keisha being pulled in by the feds. Dre and Julio right off the street to be questioned about this whole James St. Patrick situation. And of course, Dre and Julio both know the game. They know snitches get ditches. So they both basically tell the same story. They both have, checkered past, and they both owe it to James St. Patrick, who brought them in off the streets, fresh out of jail, gave them a job, showed them, the ropes, showed them the game. They James owe it is a good guy. Well, do you think he kills this Knox? He's not that kind of guy. He just wouldn't do that. He was raised in the hood and did good for himself, and he just didn't forget us down in the hood. And so there's nothing they can do with that. They let him go. Now Keisha, on the other hand, Keisha gets questioned by Angela, which the white privilege in this episode is so apparent. All right. And I know that Angela is of Latin descent, but she close enough to white to be white. And I can't think of any other reason why they would allow her to question the witness of the dude that you used to mess with, who is now in jail for possibly killing the other dude that you was messing with. what would be the reason why she's allowed to just have carte blanche to do whatever the hell it is she want to do, and it not be considered a conflict of interest or collusion? Okay, okay, all right. So she questions Keisha. She wants to know about when James moved out, when Tasha sold her rings, when James came back, where he stayed. All of this stuff. And Keisha's like, you ought to know, you the one that stole him from his family. Okay, you the one that broke the whole marriage up, started the ball rolling in this direction. And later on, when Keisha is talking to Proctor and Tasha about what some of the things that was said when she was talking to Angela, Tasha was thinking that it is because Angela's just a bitch. And Proctor lets on. He lets her know, oh, wait a minute, she might be trying to prove that you and James are only married on paper. And therefore, Tasha can be seen as an accomplice. And therefore, can be forced to testify against him. And therefore, if she does not testify against him, we could threaten to put her in jail. And if she don't do it, take her kids away. And it's at this moment that Tasha, Keisha, Proctor, everybody realized that Angela is playing for keeps. You bringing the kids in this? You trying to destroy his family too? Girl, I can't wait till they give you exactly what you looking for. All right. So let's bring Tommy into the mix. Now, Dre and Julio have been released. Keisha have been released. They've all had conversation. Dre is at the club. He got the girls filling up the matchbox, getting ready for that night. And in walks Julio. Julio walks in and wants to talk to Dre for a minute. Dre sits down in James's chair, and Julio feels some type of way about it. Oh, you supposed to be James St. Patrick now? That's what he thinking to himself. And he asks, Dre, what you tell the feds? And Dre said, I about to ask you the same thing. What you tell the feds? And Julio's like, nothing. What you tell the feds? And Dre says, I ain't tell them nothing. Julio said, well, the block is hot right now, so we're gonna have to bring this whole matchbox, pills in the box situation to a halt until the young ladies notice. That was packing up the drugs was a girl that Julio brought there to work against Dre's wishes. And Dre sends her out of the room and tells the other girl to keep working. All right, but don't tell the Chinese girl and don't tell nobody else. Later on, we see Julio go talk to Tommy. And he tells Tommy about being taken in by the feds for questioning. Dre got pulled in by the feds for questioning. And Tommy's like, I don't have time for any of this. I don't have time for any of this bug shit. This is the biggest drug dealing night of our lives, and we need to be ready for it, okay? Because Tommy is feeling the pressure from everywhere. All right? So, he's trying to make this whole thing happen. He's got Patar breathing down his neck. He's trying to look legit. He got folks coming to him left and right, dropping little seeds of doubt about people he know and love. He got Keisha coming to him talking about Tasha. He got to squash all of that with her trying to console her and keep her calm and make her realize Tasha's not going to talk on you. Tasha's not going to talk on me. She hard as Chinese algebra. He got to keep Julio head in the game. Julio is the number 2. All right, we got these drugs coming. He got to squash Patar's doubts. Okay, Patar is upset. Where is Julio? I haven't seen him all day. Why isn't James out of jail? He got to squash all of that. All right, and on top of that, he got Dre coming to him and telling him that Julio tried to stop the drugs in the club. No. That's our biggest money maker. We need to keep that going. What else you got to tell me, Dre? Dre said the feds called me in. They called Julio in too, and he stayed a lot longer than I did. I don't want to say nothing, but yeah, just dry snitching, right? I didn't like that from Dre. To the club to slang them drugs. Forget what Julio said. All right. And on top of that, he got to take the kids to school. And he got to try to figure out what's going on. He got a lot of balls in the air. He got a lot of balls in the air. And if y'all know Tommy like I know Tommy, the last thing y'all want Tommy to be is suspicious. Last thing y'all want Tommy to be is paranoid. The last thing y'all want to see is Tommy go half cocked. So everybody dropping all these little nuggets of doubt into his head is just making it bad for all of us involved. Little known fact, all right? And Tommy goes through this whole elaborate scheme of putting on this boxing slash gambling type situation because he know the feds are out front looking, and he gets into a steamer trunk and a truck, and they take him away like he a part of the tables or the chairs, like event planning. Takes him on off about his business, and that is how he is able to get away from the feds without a tail. He don't even tell Julio this. When he see Julio, Julio's like, "What's going on? Why you in this steamer trunk? Why you doing all that?" And he tells Julio, "We just never know who you can trust nowadays." And it was at that moment I realized. I thought to myself, "Please do not let Julio be the first one to catch a hot one this season. Please, 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 Lord." Okay. All right. So that's Tommy. Let's talk about Angela, y'all. Y'all know we don't like Angela. We don't like her at all. Okay, if you team Angela in any way, this is probably not going to be the channel for you. We don't like that bitch over here. Okay? First of all, she goes to Knox's funeral. And she try to lay low key because she know Knox's family don't really care for her no way. This is the first time we see Bailey. Okay, Bailey is Knox's friend and work for Homeland Security. All right. After she realizes the lengths that Mark is willing to go through in order to get James convicted, she feel low key bad. So she go to see James, and she want to talk to him. But both of his attorneys are there, and she wants to talk to him alone. And he tells her, "Nuh-uh, my attorney stay in here. I don't trust your ass." And she kind of try to feel some type of way about that. But then she tell him, "You need to confess to this crime. You need to confess to this crime, and I'll see if I can get a lesser sentence for you. But otherwise, Tasha is going to have to testify." And just think about your kids. Your kids are blameless in this whole situation. Remember you? And, if you get the death penalty, and he tells her, "I didn't do this." She said, "You did do this. I know you did this." Okay. When Mark asked her if she thought that James did it, she says, "Yeah, I do believe he did it." Even with all the proof that Proctor and Silver pulled together, I still believe he did it. The bitch is ruthless. She is. She ruthless. She the worst kind of ruthless, because when Bailey come to see her in her office, and he basically tells her that Knox believed that she was the mole inside the DA's office, she don't even blink. She just act like, "Oh, no big deal. No big deal." And it really is her job too. It really is her co-workers too. Everybody that's letting her just run around. There's no reason for you to be down in that jail cell calling yourself wanting to talk to James. There's no reason for you to be doing that except white privilege. You really, really feel like you got a right to be there? That is called conflict of interest. You shouldn't be questioning him. You shouldn't be seen with him at all. Y'all really look like y'all trying to set this man up. It's really what it looks like. With every effort she makes, it looks more and more like she's trying to set him up because she is a woman scorned. And I hope she spent a couple of nights in jail before she catch a hot one. I really, really do. All right. Bailey confronts her. Just tells her flat out, "Knox thought you did it. That you were the mole. I think you're the mole. Okay, and I think you were giving James St. Patrick information on Lobos." All right. She tell Tell Ghost to stop lying. I was like, oh, really? Ghost is the liar here? Okay. All right. No problem. Okay, so let's talk about Terry Silver. When we see Ghost for the first time, it's when Terry Silver enters the attorney-client room at the jailhouse, and he just basically leads with, "Did you do it?" And Ghost is like, "No, I didn't do it." And he tells Ghost, "Oh, indignant." And so here begins this sort of, you know, dick measuring, pissing contest between the two of them. And you find this a lot with African American men. The minute he walked in that room and acted so self assured and acted like Ghost perceived him to be superior, acting like he was superior to him, their relationship was gonna stay like this. Because Ghost perceived him to think that he's guilty, and I did too. The way he came in, he was just like another brother. I know you did this. You do everything the hard way. I mean, the easy way instead of the hard way, and going to school and getting your education and all of that. You guilty of sin, but your money is green, so let's do it. I didn't appreciate it. Ghost didn't appreciate it. But Proctor, when he comes in, he tells him the reason why he's going to be second chair is because he has an excellent track record. Silver has an excellent track record for getting innocent folks off on manslaughter charges. And so, like I said, he rubs Ghost the wrong way. He presumes that Ghost is guilty. And he tells him several times, "I'm not here to judge your innocence, brother. I'm here to save your life." Then he tells him, "I'm here to get your money so I can use that money to help the people who can't afford an attorney like me." When he finds out later that Proctor possibly represented Egan, he tells Proctor, that's unethical. You can't represent Egan and then represent Ghost. And so Proctor's like, don't start all that. I don't need no mobile bar board scrutinizing me. And while we added Silver, if that's unethical, what do you call Angela coming in the room to question Ghost or questioning witnesses as pertains to Ghost's case? What do you call any of that? That's not unethical. We're not gonna put a magnifying glass on that, huh? We're not gonna shed the light on this wicked witch of darkness. Oh, okay. All right. So we see at the end of the episode where Ghost meets with Silver, and he wants to talk to him for a minute and just try to explain his point. And Silver's just like, "Oh, so you call me here to try to convince me of your innocence? You don't have to worry about me thinking you innocent. My job is to get you off, and that's make no mistake, you one of them brothers. You another one of them brothers that did it the easy way instead of working hard for yours." And Ghost is like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You don't even know me. You don't know how I grew up at all." And it's a moment. So this is another thing that Ghost has got to deal with. Another thing. Outside of his kids out, his daughter's sad, his son's wilding out. Tasha was extra dry with him on the phone when he called to talk to Raina. She was very, very dry with him on the phone, and he could feel it. He got Tommy out there. Y'all know Tommy cannot be left to his own devices for too long. All right. He's got this Terry Silver guy he's got to worry about. Tony Teresi, Angela. Everything is crashing down around his ears. But one good thing does come out of this whole situation when he's talking to Silver and he's talking to Proctor about the evidence that they have. He sees that there is a phone there in one of the pictures that wasn't there in the apartment when he went in there. And so that starts the conversation about the DNA. How did they get the DNA? We've got to figure this whole DNA part out. And he says, "Well, I never had any contact with him except when he pulled me over." "He pulled you over?" He said, "Yeah, he pulled me over. I told Angela about it the next night." He was like, "What? You told Angela that he pulled you over?" "Yes, I did." So Silver's actually able to get the traffic cameras to pull up the stop, And you could see that Knox manhandled James, and they figured that's how he got the DNA. Well, they show this to the court, and the judge decides to throw out the DNA. Now, it's some haggling over this, and he almost didn't do it till we realized that Angela knew about it all along. Uh-huh. Yeah, you shaded. So, it called Mock up, called Angela up. Did you know about this? Angela's like, yeah. And Mock interrupts, and he says she did try to tell me, but because we didn't have any of it on film, we didn't think it was true. In other words, you knew what it was, but you figured wasn't nobody else gonna be able to prove it, so you went on about your business. All right, and it came back to bite you in the butt, Justice. Okay, again, this white privilege situation. But nobody reprimands Angela. She is not fired. She is not censured. She is not set down. If anything, Mark goes to talk to Angela afterwards and tells Angela, "I should have said something. You were right, and you're the you are. There's a reason why you're the best attorney in this whole office." And she was like, "Yes, yes, I am." I was like, oh, "Okay, I can't wait to see you in that orange jumpsuit, Angela. I cannot wait to see you in that orange jumpsuit." So, good thing we were able to get the DNA thrown out, but they were not able to get the case dismissed like they wanted to. Now, let's talk about Bailey, because Bailey got a lot of stuff going on here. Now, Bailey is Knox's friend in Homeland Security. Again, let's talk about white privilege. First of all, you being questioned by Sachs and Mock and Sandoval. That's what it was in the office. And you have proof that Knox was not the mole, but Angela was the mole. Now, we already know the first things. Sandoval did Knox call Sandoval on the phone. You know all of this from all the tapes and all the recordings and all of this stuff. You know all of this. First thing your office do is call Homeland office. That's what they do. And they talk to his boss, Bailey's boss. That's what they're supposed to do. He's got evidence that's impeding the case. They're supposed to call his boss and bring his boss in on it. And then his boss is supposed to say, "You get this evidence over and tell them everything they want to know and pull up out of this case and let them handle it." But oh no, Bailey's able to walk around carte blanche and do whatever he wants to. He's idly threatening everybody. Angela, which he should. Low key Sandoval, Mock, everybody. He just got carte blanche to do whatever the hell he wants to. He got tapes. He got recordings. They're illegal, but he got them. And he's just allowed to be able to run rampant. All right. So he's talking to Sachs. He's telling Sachs about what his theory is. And Sachs keeps shooting it down. It's all a moot point, because the tapes are inadmissible. They can never be brought into court. They were illegally obtained. So this is about how to screw somebody else out of their freedom or their life in an unjust way. Nobody is really trying to do everything on the up and up, ironically, except for James. Because technically he could have Bailey popped, Teresi popped, Mock popped, Angela popped. He could have a whole lot of people popped if he wanted to. But I digress. So they going over the scenario. Bailey and Sachs, they talking on the pier. They going over it. Well, if Knox wasn't the mole and Angela's the mole and this is what Knox believed, and that Lobos, all of this convoluted bull crap that can't be proven in a court of law. No way. What does Sachs do? Sachs goes to the club afterwards, after talking to Bailey, and approaches the judge. And the judge basically tells him, "Oh, you got this tape." He's like, "Yeah, technically no, because it was illegally obtained and therefore inadmissible." And the judge was like, "You know what? You got 5 seconds to step off, because there's no way in hell, ever, 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 I will ever let an inadmissible illegal recording be admitted in the court. No one will. It's just not done. And Sachs decides to leave. But does the judge then call the DA's office and get Sachs' um, boss on the phone and say, hey, I'm minding my business in my own personal time, and this dude approaches me about an illegal recording? No, no one does that. See, this is the white privilege all over the place. Like, nobody's getting their hands slapped. Nobody is acting above board, ironically, except for James St. Patrick. Out of all these fools scheming, and it's James St. Patrick that is the one that's following the rules. It's complete irony to me. So later on, when they doing the whole court case with the traffic camera and getting the DNA and all that stuff thrown out, the judge is that much more skewed towards James because he sees how the district attorney office is behaving. Oh, Sandoval, of course, after hearing Bailey say he got these tapes and acknowledging that he knows that Knox called Sandoval the night he was killed. All right. Um, he decides to go and talk to Sandoval. Now, talk to Bailey. Now, Bailey, when he walked up to Bailey, Bailey was on the phone with somebody who we don't know. But he says that I didn't want to say this in front of everybody else, but Knox did share with me that he thought that that Angela was the mole, and he wanted to work with him in bringing her down. And Bailey's like, you know what? Let's meet later and I'll give you the audio. We'll talk about it. Then when Sandoval walks off, he pulls Sandoval up. See, Knox shared with him probably a lot more than what he's telling. And also, he's got the tapes. And on one of the tapes, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm hearing correctly, it's Sandoval's voice. So this thing about to blow up, Shaway. It's about to blow up, Shaway, all the way around. I'm going to tell you who two people I'm worried about off the rip. Bailey and Julio. All right. Bailey got these tapes and we already know nothing is beyond Sandoval at this point. And Julio because, yeah, I don't know, dealing with Tommy, it's only a matter of time before you get popped. Only a matter of time. And he got Dre working against him too. I don't see Julio coming out of this thing unscathed at all. But that's it, you guys. That is Power. That is episode 3 of season 4, The Kind of Man You Are. You guys let me know what you think below. What y'all think about this whole Angela situation? Like, I'm so perturbed at the fact that she's allowed to just do whatever she wants to do. They didn't even downsize her office for her behavior. Where they do that at? Sachs going to the judge and talk to the judge off record. Where they do that at? All right, you questioning witnesses? Y'all hiding evidence? Why aren't we throwing this shit out? Like, it don't even make any sense. All right. I say I have to realize I can't pick at stuff too much because then none of it will make sense. And it's a TV show, I get that. But y'all tell me what y'all think about all of this I'm talking about down below. I get upset about it, especially when they insert Angela in the stuff. When you gonna go tell Ghost he need to confess. You need to confess. You need to speak up. Oh, I don't like her, y'all. Well, that's all I got for you, honeybees. Oh, when I tell y'all she get up under my skin. Until next time, honeybees.